Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Amen. It is a wonderful day in the Lord. Indeed, this is a day that the Lord has made, and we are rejoicing and we are glad in it. Amen. I'm very grateful and very thankful this morning to be back with you all once again. I know it is about 8 minutes past the hour, past the 9 o'clock hour here, Central Standard Time. And I'd like to thank each one of you that are coming on into the room this morning. Good morning, Miss Deanna Ward. How are you? Thank you so much for coming out, sis. I apologize for my tardiness this morning. Thank you so much, Facebook user, for coming in the room. Angela Angel Wings, thank you so much for coming in the room on this morning. I appreciate you. The love and support is wonderful. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. See, I'm going to attempt that. So I'm not going to attempt your whole name, but I appreciate you for jumping on the live this morning. Sibla, am I saying that right? Jump in the chat, please, and let me know if I got even close to saying that right. Thank you this morning. It is hump day. It is Wednesday. And we are glad that it is Wednesday. We got a little bit further to go. Some of us who week ends on a Friday. If your week doesn't end on a Friday, you only have a little. It's you one day closer to whatever your day off is. Praise God. Thank you for coming on in all the way from Louisiana, Claire. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Vito, thank you so much for coming into the room on this morning. Each of you, those that are coming in the room, when you get in the room, please give us a shout out in the chat. Let us know who you are and where you're joining us from. And if it's afternoon, and that is a great thing. Let us know, where in the world are you at? Is it morning? Is it afternoon? Is it evening? We appreciate those that are joining us from far and near, those inside of the United States as well as those outside the United States. We appreciate you for coming in the room on this morning. My name is Laquita Monley, and I'm just happy and excited to be able to have this opportunity all the way from South Africa, Morris. Thank you so much. So it is definitely evening or late afternoon for you guys. I appreciate you for coming in the room on this morning. This morning, anyway. I just want to stop for a moment and give a very special thank you to Swag Her Magazine with Fancy and her team for allowing me this opportunity to come visit you guys in the Swag Her Magazine page um, every Monday morning and every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. I appreciate you. Those of you that are joining me live from the Laquita's Toolbox community across Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. I appreciate you guys as well as those in the Twitch community. Thank you so much. Fort Mill, South Carolina. Thank you so much for coming in. And I appreciate those in our Laquita's Toolbox community. Thank you so much for coming in from Illinois. We appreciate you, Benjamin. We appreciate you, Vito. Good morning, Miss Stephanie Legans, all the way from San Antonio, Texas. Thank you so much for coming in the room. Today, guys, we're just going to kind of pick up where we left off on Monday. If you were not with us on Monday and this is your first time joining, thank you. It'll be real easy to just catch up and follow along. Those of you who were with us on Monday, we appreciate you for coming back again. And on Monday, we talked more about the importance of knowing who you are as we are refining and redefining what our definition of success was. And we stopped at 3 points. And I'm going to raise those points again for you. We stopped at those 3 points. And first, we understand that when we build upon the revelation of our identity, um, when we understand who we are, the tools that we need to have in our toolbox become more visible. You get more clarity when you know who you are, because your identity and your purpose, they come into an alignment. So when I know who I am, it's easier then for me to acquire the tools that I need in order to walk out that path to success, and even to create the path to success, or be able to recognize the path to success, however you want to put that thing. It's easier to reach what success is to you, not what success looks like to others, but what success looks like to you when you understand who you are. So I left you with 3 tools, and those tools were, of course, know who you are. The second tool was understanding that relationships are our greatest resource. And the third tool was that we as individuals should be lifelong dreamers, learners, and doers. Let me give those to you again. Know who you are. Understand that relationships are our greatest resource. And 3, being a lifelong dreamer, learner, and doer. These are the 3 things that we didn't really get into the details of it on Monday. And this morning, I'm hoping just to talk a little bit about it, those 3 things. And most importantly, I want to get you guys' opinions. Those of you that are coming into the room, let me know, what do you think about those 3 tools? Have you ever thought about them before? Are they things that you implement on a daily basis? And you're like, LaQuita, I wrote a book on that. Get in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Give us some feedback. We want to know how these things have been positively impacting your life. Those of you that are already putting these things into place. Twisha, thank you so much for joining from our LinkedIn community. Thank you, LinkedIn, for showing up in the room on this morning. We appreciate you. And if you have not, thought about these 3 tools and you're saying, okay, LaQuita, this sounds pretty interesting, give me some more. I want to know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know your questions. Let me know your concerns. Let's make this an engaging conversation. So as we can learn and we can grow together on the short time that we have together on this morning. And I know that this has been some great information for me as I've learned this throughout my journey. And if this has been some great information for you that you've learned throughout your journey, please hit those like, share, and subscribe buttons. Let's get this message. Let's get this broadcast out to as many people as possible. If you're joining us for the first time and you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, go ahead and click subscribe. Those of you that are joining us from YouTube, click subscribe. Hit those notification buttons on your various social media platforms so that you will know when I go live every Monday and every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Times. We have a great comment here from Vito. Dreams are what makes life tolerable, but most of all, the good Lord plays a significant part in our lives, and we must have him in our heart. Absolutely. Absolutely. That is an excellent point, Vito. Absolutely. I could not agree more. Yes, the tools that we're getting ready to talk about here this morning. So I know you just popped in the room, Twisha, so let me go over them quickly again. The tools that we're going to get into this morning are 1, knowing who you are. 2, understanding that our relationships are our greatest resources. 3, be a lifelong dreamer, learner, and doer. And you're saying, if these are some things that you're finding helpful, and those of you that have been joining us over the last several weeks, you can get this information in its entirety in my book, Redefining Success, 8 tools that I use to develop a growth mindset. And I'm going to go ahead and put the link to my book in the chat. And not only can you get them in my book, but I have a brand new workbook accompanying that, Redefining Success, 8 tools that I've used to develop a growth mindset. The accompanying workbook and book together are a powerful resource tool that can be used as an individual or a group study. And it's all about developing and creating a positive growth mindset. So if you're enjoying some of these short conversations that we're getting to have here across the LaQuita's Toolbox communities, as well as in our in the Swag Her magazine, click the link in the chat and you can go out to Amazon and grab that resource. If you'd like to have those resources and a signed copy of them, go out to my website at www.laquitamonley.com and I will order those there, and I will be more than happy to send you an autographed copy of the book as well as the workbook. So just if you're liking to use these as a study tool and want to have more easier access to them to get into this as you will, then please go ahead to Amazon and check those out. But we're starting at talking about understanding who we are. Why is that important? That is important because when I understand who I am, then I won't be moved by distractions. I won't be moved by positive distractions or negative distractions, because distractions don't always come in a form of something that's awful. Distractions can come in a form of something that looks good to you, maybe even good for you or good for a community. But when I understand who I am and I've already mapped out a plan for success, then when those detours or those distractions come up, no matter how wonderful they might look, If they don't go in alignment with the plan, then I know I can put a pin in that for later, or that I need to totally ignore it. But when I know who I am not so easily distracted to get off track to chase after things that don't come into an alignment with my purpose, that don't come into an alignment with the goals that I'm trying to reach. But it starts out with knowing who you are. Circumstances can come in and rock our faith sometimes. Those of us that are believers in the Lord Jesus Christ, sometimes circumstances can come up and they can rock our faith, they can shake our faith. But when you know who you are, when those circumstances arise, they might call you to question, okay, God, why am I here? What am I called to do? Even if you're saying, okay, Laquita, I'm not a believer. And I ask that all the time, but that's a powerful question. Each of us as humans should all come to a place in our life at some time where we ask that question, because that question and the search for that answer can bring us to a greater level of clarity, can bring us to a greater level of perspective, because knowing who you are is central to everything. Why? Because everything in our lives hinge on our identity. I'll say that again. Everything in our lives hinge on our identity. The power of knowing who you are and whose you are opens up the possibilities and calls you to understand that there's nothing that's impossible for me to accomplish on this earth because of who I am. Who does God say that you are? And his infallible nature is incapable of lying to you. So who God says that you are is who you are. What man says, other people, even if who you believe yourself to be doesn't come into an alignment with what God says, all of that negativity that you may be experiencing or things that are causing you to have self-doubt, erase that, because God says that you're fearfully and wonderfully made in his image and in his likeness. So the thing that he calls you to do in this earth, you can do it. You can do it. And there's nothing that can stop you from doing it. We just have to figure out how to come up with the plans that are needed in order for us to reach our desired result. So understanding who you are is a powerful tool, because everything in our life that we need comes in us from the beginning. Every gift, every talent, the resource, we are our greatest resource. That resource is already within us, and we just have to learn how to tap into that resource in order to accomplish the goals that we do desire to accomplish. The next tool that we're going to look at a little bit here is understanding that relationships are our greatest resource. And when I say that, I want you to understand that when I'm talking about relationships being our greatest resource, I'm not talking about currency. I'm not talking about dollars, pounds, euros, francs, whatever your local currency is, right? I'm not talking about cryptocurrency. I'm not talking about money at all. Even though that you can see your bottom line increase, you can see your net value, your gross value increase when you're in the right relationships. That's not what I'm talking about. Relationships being our greatest resource means the relationships that we create play a fundamental role in our ability to reach our expected ends. When we are in right relationship with the right people that God has sent into our lives, we can see growth take place in so many areas. So it's not about those people having things and stuff to bring to us and to give us, but it's about the wisdom and the knowledge of the people who are in our inner circles that can help us grow on a personal level, that can help us grow on a spiritual level, to where we then understand how to acquire the things that we need on our own. It's about wisdom. Those that are in our lives right now, are we in reciprocal relationships where we're not only giving to them, but they're able to give to us? And the things that we're giving to them, will it help them grow? The things that they're giving to us, does it help us grow? And it may sound, when I've taught this in other places, I've had people to say, Laquita, that sounds a little bit selfish. Like, relationships should be so much more than that. And you're right, it's not selfish. It seems selfish, but it's not selfish at all. When are we adding value in our lives to other people? Like, are we adding value to the people that are in our network? Are the people in our network adding value to us? Because that's important. Why? Because when we're adding value to each other, then that strengthens the whole. Yes, it strengthens you, but it strengthens the whole. Who we're running with, if you will, are they helping us get to that positive place that we desire to be? We have another great comment here. Building relationships is not only in our personal life, but in our professional life. Absolutely. Absolutely. When we're building these positive relationships, the currency that it produces is a currency that helps us elevate to our next level of success. And that is whatever we have desired success to be. We have to understand the power of being in right relationships in our personal life as well as in our professional life. And there's nothing wrong with being very, very selective about who we allow into our inner circle. We must be very selective about who we're allowing in our inner circles. Because why is that? Because you don't want to bring toxicity into your environment. Why do we want to bring toxic things or toxic? We understand that from what we put into our bodies. Well, we don't want toxic relationships in our lives. And sometimes toxic relationships can be concealed by outer good work. So we have to be able to discern that, what the intent of individuals as well as our intent towards individuals. We have to discern the difference. Who is God called to be in our lives and why? What are we giving to them and what are they giving to us? Is it positive? Will it help one? Will it they help me grow? And can I help them grow? And if the answer to that question is yes on both accords, okay, how can I help them grow and how can they help me grow? And here's the thing, when you're in right relationship with people that are mature and understand that, it's not a toxic relationship. It's not a thing where, well, you just trying to use me. No, no, no. They understand that in this life, we can't do anything alone. We have to be partnered with somebody. Or am I partnered with the right person to get the job done in my personal life as well as in my professional life? We have to understand and value the relationships that we have in our lives. And that third thing that we're going to talk about this morning is being a lifelong dreamer, learner, and doer. We have to dream big, but in our dreaming big, we cannot forget to wake up and live. Let me say that again. We have to dream big, but in our dreaming big, we must not forget to wake up and live. What am I saying? You just can't be a dreamer. You have to be a learner. You have to be a doer. But before you can learn, and dreaming is a part of learning. And in really learning, we have to be doing something. So we can't just get stuck in one phase and just be a dreamer, but never put legs to that dream. We never put action to that dream. As we're dreaming, what are we learning? What are we learning? What am I doing in order to make this dream a reality? So as I'm dreaming, I'm learning how to make this thing a reality. And what I'm learning, I'm doing, I'm implementing so that this thing that I've dreamed can become a reality. So dream big, but don't forget to wake up and live. Success is not the result of randomness. Failure is also not the result of randomness either. Success is a result of us consistently doing the things that we need to do in order to reach the destination that we have in mind. Success is not a result of randomness, but rather it is a result of wisdom, strategies, and resilience. I'll say that again. Success is not the result of randomness, but it is rather the result of wisdom, strategies, and resilience. Prepare for the prosperous place that the Lord has for you by developing yourself naturally and spiritually to receive and to maintain and to grow that which we desire in our hearts. Success is not random. It's a result of a well thought out plan that I've consistently implemented. And though I hit road bumps along the way, I've been resilient, I've bounced back, and I continue to push forward. Success won't just happen overnight. We might see people like, oh, he or she was an overnight success. No, each successful person that you've ever talked to you about the process that it took to get them there. And it was a process to get there. Absolutely, Twisha. Success lives in our values. Absolutely. Success does live in our values. And that's a great point. It really can go back to the first point that we made, the power of understanding who you are. Because when I understand who I am, then I'm able to clearly map out my values. When I don't understand who I am, I have no clue. I'm still searching and wondering. Digging into understanding, writing down my core values is absolutely difficult. So you have to start at the beginning. Understanding who I am is directly related to knowing what my core values are. It is absolutely imperative that understanding what your core values are as we begin to walk through this journey, because our core values are absolutely important. And I do thank you for bringing that up, Twisha. I do plan on doing a short video with you guys about the importance of core values. Many of you that follow me saw a live that I did a couple of weeks ago with Dr. Geneva, and we really kind of got into more detail the power of core values and why we have to have them and why they're necessary for us to achieve a level of success personally and professionally. So digging into our core values is absolutely one of the next things that we are going to talk about as we continue growing and learning together through these lives that we're able to do on every Monday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, as well as every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, right here in the Laquita's Toolbox community, as well as on the Swag Her magazine page. Understanding who I am, understanding that relationships, the proper relationships in our lives, are our greatest resource. These are two things that we talked about on today. And the third thing is being a lifelong dreamer, learner, and doer, and understanding that dreaming big is necessary. But in our dreaming, we cannot forget to wake up and live. We cannot neglect putting some action to those dreams, creating action steps in our lives and walking out those action steps so that we can accomplish and bring that dream from a dream into our reality. We have to put some legs to that thing. So understanding who I am directly correlates to understanding and knowing our core values. Being in great relationships that are reciprocal relationships, those bring amazing currency into our lives that help us on our journey to success. And number 3, being that lifelong dreamer, learner, and doer, where we're able to see big, see past what we called impossible, and know that all things are possible. I see big. And because I dream big, that means I have the capacity to learn the skills and the tools necessary so that as I'm walking out the plan to make that dream come from a dream into my reality, I won't give up. Resiliency is necessary. Wisdom is necessary. Having proper strategies are necessary. And the people that we're connected to help us in this part. The people that we're connected to and in right relationships with, they help us develop the wisdom. They help us develop the strategies. They help us and encourage us. Having right people in our life is so important. So if I leave you with those 3 things on today, take the time, let's, pray them out, write them down, meditate on them, think them through. Who am I? What are my core values? What am I created to do? Who are the people that are in my innermost circle that have the most influence on my life? Is it positive or is it negative? What value are they adding to me and what value am I adding to them? Is it a reciprocal relationship where we're both growing and learning together? And 3, am I a lifelong dreamer, learner, and doer? And can those people that I know and that are in the most intimate parts of my life, can they help me accomplish the dream that I'm dreaming? I want to leave that with you on today. I will be back on Monday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time right here live in the Swag Her magazine page, as well as in the Laquita's Toolbox community. I'm looking forward to having more great conversation with you guys. Thank you guys so much. Those of you that consistently show up every Monday and every Wednesday. And for those of you that are popping into the room and you're new, thank you so much for showing up into the room. I hope to see you all again on Monday. Let's get this broadcast out to as many people as possible. Hit that like, share, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you all on Monday and as well. Thank you so much, Facebook user, for popping into the room. I'm unable to see who you are, but I appreciate you for joining. Hit the replay. Thank you so much, Deanna. We appreciate your support. you guys, if you are liking what you've heard, I know we've had some great conversations over the last couple of weeks, some amazing engagement, and these tools have been as good to me as they are to you. Go ahead out to Amazon and get the book, Redefining Success, 8 tools that I've used to develop a growth mindset, as well as going out to my website at laquitamonley.com if you'd like an autographed copy of the book. And my amazing Black Friday sale is going to be the book and workbook combination. So stay tuned. Continue to check out my social media as well as my website. You'll see that combo up on my website. You won't see it on Amazon, but you will see it on my website. So I look forward to seeing you guys on Monday. You guys take care. God bless and have an amazing rest of your day. You guys be great. Take care.